All right, everyone. You know how much we all love geeking out over the future of tech?
Oh, yeah.
So we're diving headfirst into this article. Someone sent us 20 emerging technologies that will change the world.
Love the title already.
Yeah, and it's got some seriously mind-blowing stuff.
Well, I bet.
Like AI that could give those chess whizzes a run for their money.
Wow.
Brain-computer interfaces think the Matrix, but in real life.
Crazy.
And get this, space tourism becoming as normal as hopping on a plane.
Now that's the future I'm talking about. It's wild to think how fast things are changing.
You're telling me, and since you, our amazing listeners, are all about that tech life, we're going to cut right to the chase today.
Sounds good.
Let's talk artificial general intelligence, AGI. This isn't just your phone recommending a new song. This is next level stuff.
Right. Forget those basic AIs that can only do one thing. AGI, this is like giving AI a brain like ours, the ability to learn, think on its feet, and who knows, maybe even outsmart us.
Okay, that's both incredibly cool and a tad bit scary, you know? So, like, what could this AGI actually do that's so different from what we have now?
Imagine this. An AI that not only writes perfect code, but also gets the ideas behind it, fixes bugs as they pop up, heck, maybe even creates whole new programming languages just for the task at hand.
Whoa, hold up. So it's not just about AI doing our work for us. It's about AI becoming like our brainy partner in creating things.
You got it. And here's the really wild part. Places like OpenAI and Google DeepMind, they're already making serious headway in AGI.
Really?
Yeah, they're using things like deep learning and neural networks, essentially trying to copy how our own brains work.
Neural networks. Now, there's a term that sparks my curiosity. Doesn't Neuralink, that whole brain-computer interface thing, play into this somehow?
You're right on the money. Neuralink is a perfect example of how all this crazy advanced tech is blurring the lines between sci-fi and reality.
Right. It's like they're straight out of a movie.
They're all about building a bridge between our brains and computers, a direct connection.
Hang on. So are we talking like downloading knowledge straight into our noggins Matrix style?
We're not quite there yet, but the potential is mind-blowing, right? Think about it. People who are paralyzed regaining their sense of touch, or treatments for things like Parkinson's, or even boosting our brain power.
I'm picturing like learning a new language overnight.
Exactly. We could be on the verge of a future where our minds and tech are totally intertwined.
Wow, that's both super exciting and, I gotta admit, a little creepy.
Yeah, it's definitely a lot to process.
On a slightly less existential note, I know you're dying to talk about humanoid robots.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, those things are straight out of my sci-fi movie marathons.
I know, right? Companies like Boston Dynamics are building robots that move with this crazy level of detail. It's amazing, and maybe a little unsettling.
Those videos, they're out there doing parkour, backflips, even opening doors.
It's wild. Makes you wonder what's next.
Seriously, are we all going to have robot butlers and self-driving cars taking over the streets?
Haha. A full-on robot takeover might be a bit far-fetched for now, at least. But think about it. What if robots could help surgeons during complex surgeries?
Oh, wow. Yeah?
Or go into dangerous situations to save people?
Like a burning building or a natural disaster, that'd be incredible.
Exactly. Or even just take care of those everyday chores, freeing up our time and energy.
Okay, you've sold me. Robots, not so bad after all, I guess. But let's switch gears for a sec, move from the physical world to something that could totally change how we see and interact with our surroundings.
Okay, I'm intrigued. What is it?
Mixed reality. Before you say it, yeah, always mix it up with virtual reality. Help me out here. What's the difference?
I got you. So virtual reality, that's like diving headfirst into a completely digital world. But mixed reality, it's all about blending the digital and the real.
Okay, I'm listening.
Imagine wearing a headset, right? But instead of being transported somewhere else, you see digital stuff layered over your actual surroundings.
So I'm looking at my living room, but I also see, like holograms?
Exactly. 3D models, historical figures, you name it. And they're all interacting with your real-world space.
Now, that's what I call an immersive experience. So I could, be designing a building and see it in 3D right there on my coffee table.
Precisely. The possibilities are endless. Think about education, design, entertainment. Mixed reality could change the game.
I'm starting to see it. This is huge.
And speaking of creating digital stuff, we got to talk about generative AI. This branch of AI is all about making new content.
Hold on, are you saying AI can whip up symphonies and paint masterpieces now? I thought that was still our territory, the creative humans.
It's getting close. Think about large language models. They can churn out human quality text like crazy.
Get out of here.
No, really. We're talking articles, translations, even poetry, all with this fluency that's getting harder and harder to tell apart from something a person wrote.
Okay, that's seriously impressive. And a tiny bit scary, if I'm being honest. Are we all going to be out of a job soon?
That's a whole other conversation.
True, true. But it's wild to think about.
It really is. The main takeaway is that all these technologies are tools at the end of the day, right? They can boost what we're capable of and open up all sorts of new doors.
Yeah, that's a good way to look at it.
Ultimately, it's up to us how we choose to use them.
Right, got it. So we've covered AI that can think for itself, robots that move like athletes, and tech that can actually change how we experience reality. What else does this article have in store for us?
Oh, we've just scratched the surface. How about we blast off into space for a bit and chat about Starlink and the future of space exploration?
You had me at space. Let's do it.
Oh.
So Starlink, right? This is Elon Musk's grand plan to beam super fast internet to every corner of the globe.
Yeah, exactly. No matter how remote.
I mean, I know it involves a bunch of satellites, but how does that even work? Is it like a giant Wi-Fi router floating in space or what?
It's kind of like that in a way, but instead of relying on all those cables and towers we have on the ground,
Right.
Starlink uses this massive network of small satellites, thousands of them, all orbiting Earth.
Wow, that's a lot of satellites.
It is, and they're constantly communicating with each other and with ground stations, beaming internet signals down to us.
So even if I'm in the middle of nowhere, like literally sailing in the middle of the ocean, I could theoretically stream my favorite show with no lag.
Theoretically, yes, that's the whole idea. It could be huge for bridging that digital divide, connecting communities that have been left behind, and revolutionizing a ton of industries.
Like what?
Think telemedicine, online education, global business, anything that relies on a solid internet connection.
It's kind of mind-blowing when you think about it.
It really is. A world where everyone has access to the same information and opportunities, no matter where they are. That's pretty powerful.
No arguments there. But let's be real, space travel still feels like something out of the movies for most of us.
I get it.
Is space tourism actually becoming a thing where regular people can experience?
It's closer than you might think. Companies like Virgin Galactic and Blue Origin, they're already offering suborbital flights.
So you get a little taste of space, huh?
Exactly. A few minutes of weightlessness, that incredible view of Earth from above. It's just the beginning, though.
Okay, now you're speaking my language. Suborbital flights, orbital hotels, it's all super cool, but let's be real, that sounds crazy expensive.
Right now, it definitely is a luxury experience, no doubt.
Yeah.
But as with any new technology, the costs are expected to go down as things progress and more companies jump in.
Makes sense.
We could be looking at a future where jetting off to space is no more expensive than, say, a long-haul flight.
Wow, I'm already picturing lunar vacations, orbital resorts even.
Well, let's just say that setting foot on Mars might not be as far-fetched as it once seemed.
Okay, wow. That's all pretty amazing, but let's come back down to Earth for a minute, literally.
Oh, okay, back to reality.
This article also talks about lab-grown meat, which, I gotta be honest, I have mixed feelings about.
I get it. It's definitely a conversation starter.
It's a little bit, ew, right, but also intriguing.
Yeah, I feel you. But beyond that initial reaction, lab-grown meat, or cultivated meat as it's sometimes called, it could be huge for the way we produce food.
Okay, so for those of us who don't have a PhD in food science, how do you even grow meat in a lab?
It starts with stem cells. These are like the building blocks of tissues and organs, and you get this from animals.
Okay.
And then you put those stem cells in this special nutrient-rich environment, kind of like a super-powered growth medium.
So they basically multiply like crazy.
Exactly. And they start to differentiate, meaning they turn into different types of cells, in this case, muscle and fat cells, the stuff that makes up meat.
So theoretically, no more factory farms, no more animal slaughter.
Potentially. That's a big part of what's driving this technology. It could significantly reduce animal suffering, address those ethical questions we have about how we're raising and slaughtering billions of animals.
That's a lot of animals.
And it could even make food production way more efficient. We're talking about using way less land and water compared to traditional farming.
Okay, but let's get real. The million-dollar question. How does it taste? Can lab-grown meat actually compete with a juicy burger?
That's the million-dollar question. And the answer seems to be, it's getting pretty darn close.
Oh, really?
Yeah, a lot of people who have tried it say they can't even tell the difference.
Wow, that's impressive.
And think about it. Beyond just replicating the taste, we could potentially create meat with healthier fat profiles, different cuts, even exotic meats that are super rare or unsustainable to farm right now.
Okay, you've convinced me. I'm ready to try this lab-grown burger. But I'm guessing it's not exactly cheap eats right now, right?
You're right. It's still pretty expensive to produce compared to traditional meat.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But as the technology gets better and production scales up, that price tag is expected to drop a lot. We could be looking at lab-grown meat being just as affordable, if not more affordable, than regular meat within the next decade or so.
Yeah. Wow, talk about a game changer. So we could be saving the planet and indulging in our favorite foods. Sign me up. All right, next up on our tech tour, we've got quantum computing.
Get ready, because this one's a real mind bender.
I'm already feeling a little lost, to be honest.
It's a completely different way of thinking about computers, right? So imagine harnessing the power of quantum mechanics.
Okay, you lost me at quantum mechanics.
It's the science of how atoms and subatomic particles behave.
Right.
And it's kind of wild and counterintuitive, but the idea is to use those principles to build a whole new breed of computer.
Okay, I'm trying to wrap my head around this. So our regular computers use bits.
Right. Exactly. Zeros and ones.
And quantum computers use
qubits. And the really cool thing is, unlike bits, which can only be a 0 or a 1, a qubit can be both at the same time.
Wait, what? How is that even possible?
It's called superposition, and it's one of those weird things about quantum mechanics. Think of it like a coin flipping in the air.
Okay, I kind of see what you mean.
Before it lands, it's both heads and tails at the same time, right? That's kind of what a qubit is doing.
Wow, that's wild. So how does that translate to actual computing power?
It means we could potentially solve problems that would take regular computers, even the super fast ones, billions of years to figure out.
Billions with a B.
Billions. And quantum computers might be able to do it in hours, maybe even minutes.
That's insane. So what kind of problems are we talking about here?
Oh, just revolutionizing things like medicine, materials science, artificial intelligence.
Casual, no big deal.
Oh, and potentially cracking the codes that protect all of our online data.
Whoa, okay, now we're getting into some serious stuff.
It's both incredibly exciting and a little bit scary, to be honest.
No kidding.
Yeah.
But this is all still in the works, right? It's not like I can go out and buy a quantum computer on Amazon.
Not yet, anyway. It's still early days, but companies like Google, IBM, Microsoft, they're all investing tons of money and resources into this.
And making some serious progress, I bet.
Definitely. It's not really a question of if we'll see this technology everywhere, but when.
I am both terrified and wildly excited about that. Okay, so far we've covered AI that can outthink us, robots that can backflip, and computers that operate on the laws of the quantum realm. What else is there?
We've still got a few more mind-blowing advancements up our sleeves, trust me.
Well, I am ready for more. Hit me with your best shot. All right, let's keep this tech train rolling. We've talked about AI that could probably write a better screenplay than I ever could, robots doing gymnastics, and computers that make my brain hurt just thinking about them. What other wonders of the future are we unpacking today?
Let's bring things back down to earth for a bit. Literally.
Okay, intrigued.
Hit me. Let's talk smart homes.
So we're talking about houses that can order takeout and do the laundry, right? Sign me up.
We're not quite there yet, though. I'm sure someone's working on it as we speak. But seriously, smart homes are all about using connected devices and appliances to make our lives easier, more efficient, and a whole lot cooler.
Okay, I can get behind that. So we're talking smart thermostats that know when I'm cold, security systems I can check on my phone, maybe even a fridge that tells me when I'm low on milk.
You're getting the idea. But it goes way beyond that. Picture this. A home that anticipates your needs. The lights change based on your mood, music follows you from room to room, and your coffee is ready before your alarm even goes off.
Okay, now you're just showing off. That sounds amazing, but, and maybe I'm just paranoid, all this connectivity, all this data flying around, what about privacy?
You're right to think about that. It's a crucial part of the whole smart home equation. As we invite more and more internet-connected devices into our homes, we've got to be smart about privacy and security. Do your research, know what you're signing up for, and choose those devices that take your privacy seriously.
So being a smart homeowner also means being a savvy digital citizen.
Got it.
Okay, shifting gears a bit, this article also mentions nanotechnology, which sounds straight out of Star Trek. Break it down for me. What is that all about?
Nanotechnology is basically manipulating matter at the tiniest level possible, atoms and molecules. We're talking about working with the very building blocks of, well, everything.
My brain hurts trying to imagine that.
Oh.
But what does that actually look like in real life? How is nanotechnology being used right now?
Oh, it's already having a huge impact. In medicine, for example, nanotechnology is being used to develop these targeted drug delivery systems. So instead of flooding your whole body with medication, imagine tiny nanoparticles, way smaller than a human cell, delivering drugs directly to where they're needed, like right to a tumor.
Wow, that's incredible. Less side effects, more effective treatment. That's a game changer.
Exactly. And that's just one example. Nanomaterials are being used to create things that are stronger, lighter, more durable, you name it. From airplanes to sports equipment, the applications are everywhere.
It sounds like nanotechnology has the potential to revolutionize, well, everything.
Pretty much. And we're just scratching the surface here. More efficient solar cells, self-healing materials. The possibilities with the nanotechnology really are mind-blowing.
Okay, I am officially overwhelmed in the best way possible. We've covered so much ground today, from AI that could probably write a best-selling novel to technology that operates at a scale I can't even fathom. It's a lot to wrap your head around.
That's the thing about emerging technology. It's constantly evolving, changing what we thought was possible, and it's happening at lightning speed.
No kidding. It's
Yeah.
both exciting and a little bit daunting.
Absolutely. The future is full of incredible opportunities, but it's up to us to make sure we're using these advancements wisely and responsibly.
Couldn't agree more. So to everyone listening, stay curious, keep asking questions, and never stop exploring the world of tech. Who knows, maybe you'll be the one inventing the next big thing. Until next time, stay curious and keep your eyes on the future.